Hello, everyone. So, welcome to day 5 of this question based session. So, as you all know, today we will be answering all your queries, your problems that you have faced in the previous 4 days. Any other question that you need to ask as far as P5 is concerned. So I'll be answering those things. Any specific guideline you want, plus any topic that you think is a bit difficult and you want to understand how it will be tested. So just be just feel free to ask whatever issues you have in P5. So I will be answering your questions one by one, and after that we'll see how we need to cover up the things. So yes, please, you can start with your queries, with your questions. Hello, can people hear me? Hello, guys, can you hear me? Okay. Now, any questions? Okay. Now, first of all, for that June 17 question, we need to discuss that when the question is in front of us. But for EVA, one thing that I can tell you that economic value added is basically a one in which you need to calculate two things which are very important. And the first thing that you need to work out is economic profits, and second is economic capital employed. So using economic profits, economic capital employed, then you can just work out that. So there are certain things that you need to add back in the profit so that you just work out the economic profit and capital employed. So by looking at the information, I think it's easy to manage it once you know the basic concepts. Any questions for Maximex? Yes, there are questions that are tested for Maximex and Maximin and Minimex regret rule. So okay, I'll get back to you. So, Maximex, Maximin, Maximex regret rule. This is a base. This is area that you have covered in paper F5. So yes, there are certain questions like mackerel contracting is one of the question that you can use for your practice. So I think I will be providing you the specific names if of that particular area in my group, so you can just try that. It's not at all compulsory to solve the question in any specific manner, because it's up to you. Normally, if you just see that you have section A in your examination, so section A is basically a section in which it's a 50-mark question. So for that 50-mark question, you uh, can start from that. Plus, you have section B as well. So in section B, there are 3 questions. From that, you need to do 2. So that 2 questions is up to you. That from where you need to start. But I will today just let you know the entire plan as well, how you need to approach the paper. So I'll tell you a bit how to proceed with the questions. Okay, now one more question is optional part marking. If I'll try first, then second, then third. Uh, so that is not the case. Actually, you need to attempt two, any two. So the examiner will select any two that you have done and will mark you accordingly. Okay, if the question indicates no calculations are needed, so it is all just the discussion that you have to do regarding EVA. So you need to just discuss according to the requirement. If you just let me know what the requirement is, so I can let you know what you need to answer here. Okay. So uh, let me just give you the basic guidelines of paper P5, how to approach P5, and then I will be discussing certain important areas today. Uh, we'll not be solving any question, but I'll be giving you a quick recap of the important areas. Okay. As for guesses, definitely you'll get a guess. You just have to wait for a few days because it's too early to give a guess. I will share my guess. I do share my guess. So for that, I would again ask you to join me on my WhatsApp group. From there, you will get the entire support, including the guess as well. This is my WhatsApp number as well, and the admin will soon share the WhatsApp link. I can see the link in front of my screen, so you can just join that. If you have already joined it, so just wait, I will update that. Okay, VBM. Now, guys, what I can do is that any topic which you want me to explain you, so I will explain you right now. Uh, I will explain you right now. So you just let me know the topic, and I'll give you a quick explanation of that. So let's start. Every information is important for you people. So let's start with VBM, value-based management. One of the student has requested me to explain VBM right now. So let me give you a quick understanding of VBM. What is VBM? Okay. As, a, as for the WhatsApp group, if you have never seen the group, that is strange. You can just use the link that is shared regularly again and again. So just click that link from your cell phone. So you will directly get into the group, and that's it. Okay. Okay. So people can just mm, write down the areas that people want to me to discuss. So I'll give you a quick recap. I'm just noting down the areas. It's first VBM that I have to discuss. Then I have another thing that student is asking about, zero-based budget. Okay. So let's make an agenda for today according to the topics you want. So it's your time, it's your wish. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. So yes, guys, any other areas that people need me to explain, I will explain that as well. Okay, ABC is one more requirement. Okay, okay, okay. It's three people. Oh, wow, that's strange. Three people just wrote down ABC. So let me add ABC. It's something very important. Anything else? Okay, let me add one more. Activity based budgets. What else? Any few further things that people want me to explain them? Okay. Uh, Models related to P5. Okay. Okay. I will give you the idea of that as well. P5. Okay. As for IRR and MIRR, I will try my best. I'll try my best. Pyramid and transfer pricing, I have covered in the previous 2-3 day session. So you can just go through that. That would help you. And quality as well, I did cover in my class yesterday's session. Okay, now let's move on with this list. If I will complete this list before the time, so I'll ask further areas that you want me to explain. So let's start with this list. So guys, my revision will be perfect, hopefully, and you'll love it. Whatever I'm telling you will be so much to the point, and every information that I'm giving you right now will help you a lot. So let's start with VBM. Okay, guys. Now, what is value-based management? Value-based management basically is an approach in which the focus is on value creation. Okay, the focus is on value creation. Now, this technique says that it is the shareholder which is the most important group of stakeholder, and the focus should be on shareholder value creation all the time. Now it says that there are three things to consider. There are three things to consider. Number one, there should be value creation. Okay. Number two, there should be a value mindset. Number three, there should be a focus on value drivers. Okay. So let me just explain you about these three things. If you listen this carefully, VBM is done for you. According to value-based management, the focus should always be on the value creation of the shareholder. It's the shareholder which is the most important, and the company should be focusing on creating the value for the shareholder. For this to happen, there should be a value mindset. Now, what is a value mindset? For example, the directors who are working in the organization, my drawing is not that much good, so just manage that, okay? So the directors who are working in the organization, okay, should always be thinking about the value creation of shareholder. So the mindset should be of value creation. Every time you have to think about value creation and value creation. So the mindset should be of value creation all the time. Okay, so value mindset means the directors should always be focusing on value creation of the shareholder. For that to ensure, there need to be value drivers. Now, what are value drivers? Value drivers are at three levels. It's strategic, tactical, and operational. So value drivers are those factors that creates value for the shareholder, are value adding factors. So value drivers are those factors that are value adding factors, and these are at strategic level. Let me explain you with a short example. For example, at operational level, you have to find out value drivers. Okay, these are the one that creates value. So at operational level, let's suppose at operational level, we can take example of repeat customers. Okay, now repeat customer is a value driver at operational level because the more the customer repeats, the more will be your sales. Okay, so at operational level, repeat customer is the value driver. At tactical level, sales will be your value driver, and at strategic level, your value driver will be return on capital employed. Now, for example, ROAS will increase. So because the customer is repeating again and again, your sales will go up. And once your sales go up, return on capital employed will increase. So at strategic level, ROAS is a value driver. At tactical, sales, and at operational, it's repeat customers. So you have to find out value drivers, those that creates the value for the shareholder. Okay. Now for VBM, there are three things which are important. Value creation, for that they need to have value mindset. For that you need to identify value drivers. The last thing is how to measure value creation. How to measure that value has been created or not? How? So guys, there are certain measures like EVA, economic value added. EVA is a method that basically tells value creation has been done or not. If the EVA answer is positive, this means value has been created. Let me give you a quick example. If year 1 EVA is 2 and year 2 EVA is 4, and if year 3 EVA is 1. Now, in year 2, value has been created by 2. In year 1, the value has been created by 2. In year 2, the value has been created by 4. So value creation is whenever the answer is positive. So whenever the answer is positive, value has been created. Okay, now I need one answer from you people. In year 1, the value has been created by 2. In year 2, the value is created by 4. In year 3, the answer is positive. So the value has been created by 1. So guys, what do you think? In year 3, value has been destroyed or created? Tell me, value has been destroyed or created in year 3? So the answer is, in year 3, the value has been created, not destroyed. Even the answer is going below the previous year. As far as it is positive, the value is being created. As far as it is positive, the value is being created. Yes, the day it gets negative, then value is destroyed. Okay, then value is destroyed. So EVA is one method to check value creation has been done or not. So in VBM, EVA is a good measure to check value creation. Okay, so this is VBM. Now, the second, zero-based budget. Now guys, zero-based budget is a budget that starts from a scratch. This is a budget that starts from scratch. First point of VBM is value creation has to be done for the shareholder. Such a value creation is done by having a value mindset, which means every time the directors should be thinking of creating the value for the shareholder. Such value mindset will further be broken down into value drivers, and these are those factors that creates the value for shareholder. Okay. Now, what is a zero-based budget? Zero-based budget is a budget that starts from a base of 0, in which everything needs to be justified. Everything is justified in this budget. Okay. And the assumption it takes that budget is being prepared for the first time. So zero-based budget is a one that starts from a base of 0, in which everything needs to be justified from scratch. Now, for example, there is one activity of maintenance. For example, maintenance department, we have a maintenance department in our organization. For example, this department is doing its work since last 10 years. Since last 10 years, maintenance department is doing its work. Now, if the company changes its budget system and shifts towards zero-based budget, so the budget for the next year for maintenance department will be prepared from a base of 0, on the assumption that this year is the first year of the activity. We will not consider past 10 years. So the assumption will be this is the first year of the budget of this activity, and when anything has a first year, if we assume something has a first year, so how detailed budget is being made? Everything has to be justified from scratch as if it relates to the activity for the first time. So in zero-based budget, you just ignore the previous years and everything starts from scratch. Now, in a zero-based budget, you prepare a decision package. So what is a decision package? Now, decision package is a one that tells the purpose of the activity. So you have to justify everything. So the decision package is the one in which you tells why this activity is important. Why this activity is important. You have to justify why maintenance department is important for the organization. What will happen if there is no maintenance department? You have to justify its existence. So you make a decision package. So in zero-based budget, we have to justify each and every activity. And the way to justify is to prepare a decision package. So the first thing that we prepare is a decision package. And this decision package is prepared for each activity. For example, canteen, let it be a maintenance department, let it be a warehouse department. For every department, we make a decision package. After decision package is prepared, then we evaluate and rank. Then we evaluate and rank each package. Then we evaluate and rank each package. This means if we have prepared a decision package for maintenance department, if you have prepared a decision package for, let's suppose, canteen, if you have prepared a decision package for warehouse department, so all the decision packages are prepared first and then you evaluate them. Which is more important in the coming year? Is expenditure on canteen is more important than the expenditure on maintenance department? You do evaluation. On the basis of evaluation, you rank them, and the one that has the highest ranking is included in the budget and allocated the funds. So funds are allocated to that activity. So there are 3 steps in zero-based budget: that you define a decision package, you evaluate each package. For all the activities, you prepare a decision package, and then you evaluate each and every activity, and then you rank them, and according to the ranking, you allocate funds. Okay? And listen, guys, today's session, last 30 minutes will be mine. Last 30 minutes, I'll guide you what to do in P5. Don't leave. Don't take today's session lightly. I'll guide you the entire plan, how you need to approach P5. So don't miss the last 30 minutes of the session today. Okay? So this zero-based budget starts from a base of 0. Everything needs to be justified. Got it? Now, the next is rolling budget. Now, what is a rolling budget? Rolling budget is a one that is prepared in uncertain conditions. Okay? It is prepared in uncertain conditions. Now, let me give you a very quick recap of that as well. For example, in rolling budgets, what we do? We make a 12-month plan. Okay? Now, depending on the uncertainty in the market, for example, There are so many changes in the market, like inflation rate is changing, exchange rate is changing. For example, interest rates are changing. So you see how frequently the changes are. If the changes are in 3 months or monthly, so according to that, you break your 12-month budget. According to that, you break your 12-month budget. Are you getting my point? According to that, you break your budget. For example, every 3 months, inflation changes in the market, exchange rate changes in the market, interest rate changes in the market. So what you do? You make a 12-month plan and you break that into 4 quarters like this. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. So this 12-month plan is broken down into 4 quarters, depending on the uncertainty in the market. My friends, if things are changing on a monthly basis, then you break the budget into 12 months. Okay? So first, looking at the uncertainty in the market, you break the plan according to the changes. For example, every quarter. Now, once the first quarter has been passed, once the first quarter expires, so you add one more quarter into the budgeting period. Let's suppose these 12 months were for 2005. Okay, 5. So once the first quarter of 2005 expired, you add another period. 2006 quarter 1. Listening my point. I'm giving you a quick recap here of things. Okay. Like this, your budget is always roll forward, and roll forward. So this is a rolling budget in which you make a 12-month plan, which is broken down depending on the uncertainty in the market. If the market is changing every quarterly basis, so you break your budget into quarters. Now, why this is beneficial? This is important to understand. Once the first quarter expires, so what you do? You compare the first quarter budget with the actual. Okay? As changes are so much in the market. So you compare the budget with the actual. Right? Once you compare, you get the difference in form of variances. Now, all those variances which arise due to the market conditions which were not in the control of the organization, all those variances which arise due to market conditions, market unpredictability, and which were not in the control of the organizations. So all those factors are incorporated into the coming quarters so that coming quarters become up to date. Let me give you a very quick last example of this. In budget, you thought that inflation will be 5% for quarter 1, let's suppose. In actual, the inflation was double of that. It was 10%. Now, inflation is something which is not under the control of the organization. So there was a 5% variance due to uncontrollable aspect. And this was the actual market rate of inflation. So what we'll do? We update our budget according to market conditions. So this inflation rate, if applicable for the other quarters, will then be used in the other quarters so that other quarters become up to date. So all those factors which are not under the control of the manager are then used to update the other quarters, which are the upcoming quarters, so that all those become up to date according to the market conditions. And this is the best way to deal with uncertainty, because if market is changing a lot every quarter, you find out those factors which are not under the control of the organization, which organization cannot control, which are changing due to market situation. All those factors should be incorporated into the coming period, into the coming quarters, so that all those become up to date according to the market conditions. Because if you will not make them up to date, then your budget will become out of dated and will be of no use. So this is how you update your budgets according to the market conditions, and this process continues and continues and continues every time. Once the quarter expires, you add another quarter, and all uncontrollable factors are then incorporated into the remaining quarters to make them more up to date. Okay. So are things clear, everyone? Are you liking the revision? Is the revision going good? What's your feedback? Yes or no? In short time, I'm telling you the important points. What's your feedback? Going good, right? Great. So done with zero base and rolling. Now it's time for ABC. So let me give you a very quick recap about ABC. Now ABC is basically overhead absorption technique. ABC is basically overhead absorption technique. Now ABC has a fight. You know, fight. ABC has a fight with absorption costing. And I will give you a clear idea about it. Okay. So as we were discussing about ABC, yeah. So ABC has a clash. ABC has a clash with absorption costing. And let me tell you that clash in very detailed way. So listen. Overheads are the reason for the clash. They are good friends when it comes to direct cost. Very best friends when it comes to direct material, direct labor, direct expenses. The reason for the fight is overheads. They fight on overheads. Their clash is on overheads. Getting my point? So let me tell you why they fight. What is the reason? Now let's start with absorption first. Absorption costing. Absorption costing absorbs overheads by using one very important thing that is known as OAR. You remember what is OAR? OAR is overhead absorption rate. How to calculate OAR? So the formula is budgeted overheads divided by budgeted activity level. Budgeted overhead divided by budgeted activity level. This is the formula to calculate OAR. Let me tell you specifically what the fight is. I won't take much of your time, will not waste your time, will tell you why the clash comes. What is the area of fight? The activity level that absorption uses is mainly number of direct labor hours, number of machine hours, number of units. Mainly. Whenever you will see ABC absorption question, you will see either one of these. Okay? Now, number of labor hours, number of machine hours, number of units, these are the three main bases. Are you getting my point? Now, these are known as production related activity level. Production related activity level. So absorption costing, when absorbs the overheads, it uses activity level which is only production related. Which is only production related. And why I'm calling these production related is direct labor hours is production related, machine hours are production related, number of units are production related. So what is the reason for calling these all production related is you need to understand. For example, if I produce one more unit, budgeted activity level, okay? So let me explain you why I am calling this production related. If I produce one more unit, I will require additional labor hours. Do you agree with me? If I produce one more unit, I need additional machine hours. So as my per unit increases, as my 1 unit increases, my labor hour and my machine hours also increase. So this is production related. It has a very direct connection with the production. As 1 unit increases, you require more labor hours, more machine hours. So the basis of absorption is the reason for fight between these two very good friends. Is one absorbs the overheads entirely on the basis of production related activity level. Okay? Now come to ABC. ABC is an alternative to absorption. It's an alternative to absorption. ABC also absorbs overheads. ABC also absorbs overheads. Okay? And ABC also uses overhead absorption rate. But what is the difference? What is the difference? When ABC calculates OAR, by using the formula of budgeted overhead divided budget activity level. So ABC uses two types of activity levels. One, it uses production related activity level, and the other it uses its non-production related activity level. So my friends, here you go. If someone wants to understand the difference between ABC and absorption, just tell him or her about this point. That's it. So ABC uses, when absorbing overheads, it uses both production related activity levels, means it uses direct labor hours, it uses machine hours, and it also uses non-production related activity level. Now what is non-production? Something that is not directly related to production. Not directly related to production. For example, number of inspections, number of customer handling minutes. Customer handling minutes. Now, these are non-production. So this is the best part about ABC, that it uses both production related, labor hour, machine hour, and non-production related, like number of inspections, number of customer minutes on call. So these are non-production. Now why I am calling them non-production? Why I'm calling them non-production? So the reason for calling them non-production is very simple. Very simple. Is these are known as non-production because they are not directly affecting the production. For example, if you produce one more unit, so do you require more call minutes to customer? Not exactly, right? Not exactly. If you produce one more unit, so do you need another supervisor for inspection? Not exactly. So if you just observe, one more unit requires labor hours and machine hours, production related, but one more unit does not require calls on minutes to customer or new supervisor for inspection. So it is not directly related in the way it is related to labor hours and machine hours. So these are known as non-production related activity levels, which are not directly linked up with the increase of the units. So this is the clash. ABC absorption. The fight is not on direct material, direct labor, direct expenses. The fight starts on overheads. And in that area, the fight starts mainly when it comes to absorbing the overheads. One says use production related activity levels like this one. The other says no, use production as well as non-production. I hope this short recap is good enough for you to pick ABC and absorption difference. Are you liking it, guys? What's your feedback? Yesterday I told you I'm crazy about feedbacks. So everything that I'm telling you will perfectly add knowledge, will be value adding for you. I won't waste time on unnecessary things. Will tell you to the point whatever you want to know. Okay, so I think this is clear. now let's connect. I love the connections in P5. Let's connect ABC with activity based budgets. Let's connect ABC with activity based budgets. Let's connect ABC with activity based budgets. Now, in ABC, what we do? In ABC, what we do? In ABC, we break overheads. We break overheads. Okay? In ABC, we break overheads into cost pools and cost drivers. See what I'm doing? I'm doing a classical thing. I'm telling you ABC and will link that with activity based budget in no time. So you break over into cost pool like inspection is a cost pool. Cost pool means activities, okay? Like setup is a cost pool. Like setup is a cost pool, setup is also an activity. For inspection, you find the cost driver, number of inspections. For setup, number of setups, right? In ABC, we use cost pools and cost drivers to absorb the overheads. In ABC, we use these to absorb the overheads into the product cost. What is activity based budgets? In activity based budgets, we prepare budgets for these activities. Classical clarification. I hope I'm not over exaggerating things here. Activity based budget means preparing budgets for these activities on the basis of which you absorb overheads. So in activity based budget, we prepare budgets for all types of cost pools like inspection, like material handling, like setups. So preparing budgets for these activities is basically the meaning of activity based budgets. Did you get my point? So preparing budgets for the activities is activity based budgets, and using these activities for absorbing the overheads into product cost is ABC. Listen, $1 million point, $1 million statement is coming up. Listen what I'm saying. Everyone, be with me. If you like it, do let me know. Preparing budgets for each and every activity like inspection, setup is activity based budgets. And using these activities for absorbing the overheads into product cost is activity based costing. Yes, guys, did you like this $1 million statement? The difference between activity based budget and activity based costing. Great. Okay. I'm saying I'm not dictating actually. Okay, I'm not dictating actually. If you want to write, let me repeat it for you again. My point is preparing budgets for each and every activity. Preparing budgets for each and every activity is activity based budgets. Okay, is activity based budgets. Whereas using these activities to absorb the overheads into product cost is activity based costing. Okay, you can Watch the video later on if you want to write that as well. Okay, one more question about cost pool and cost drivers. It's very simple. Cost pool are nothing but activities. Like when you break the overheads, you found out that because of inspection activity, the overhead was 30,000. Because of material handling activity, the overhead was 35,000. So simply cost pools are activities. Okay. And your next question was cost drivers. So cost drivers are simply activity levels. Activity levels like labor hours, like machine hours, like number of inspections, like number of setups. So activity level is basically any factor. It is basically any factor that increases or decreases the overhead cost. It is any factor that increases or decreases the overhead cost. So this is cost driver like labor hours, machine hours. Okay. So I hope that you got my point here. So my friends, activity based budget means preparing budgets for each activities, and activity based costing means absorbing the overheads on the basis of activities into product cost is ABC. Guys, clear? Okay. Now let me go back to the wish list of the students. The next thing is model related to P5. Okay. Now this is a good question. Then benchmarking. We'll be covering benchmarking that afterwards. Now the models related to P5. There are so many models that relates to P5. And let me tell you, number one, balance scorecard. Number two, building. Performance pyramid is out of the syllabus, my friend. It's out of the syllabus. Where are you these days? It's out of the syllabus. Building block model. Number three, performance pyramid. Performance pyramid. Number four, Porter's value chain. Number five, sorry. Prism is out of the syllabus. Performance prism is out of the syllabus. Okay. Now, Porter's five forces. Number six, I'm telling you the names of all the models. Okay, just list it down. Porter's five forces. Then comes business process re-engineering. Then comes stakeholder matrix. Okay. So these are the certain important areas of P5, the models I'm mainly talking about. Yes, I missed here pestle analysis. Okay. SWOT analysis. BCG matrix. And NSOF matrix. So these are certain areas to cover. which also includes something of P3 as well. These being the most important financial and non-financial. Okay. Then Porter's value chain, Porter's five forces are important as well. Pestle is one of the important, is Pestle analysis. BPR, business process reengineering concept, is important. So these are the models that actually are the one that you should be covering for your paper P5. It's BPR, business process reengineering. Business process reengineering. Okay, performance pyramid. It's performance pyramid. Okay. Yeah, McKinsey 7S model. Yes, you're right. You're right. 7S model. Okay. So these are the key models that you can use. Building block model. Second is building block model. Okay, building block model. So balance scorecard, building block model, performance pyramid, Porter's value chain, Porter's five forces, BPR, stakeholder metric, Pestle, SWOT, BCG, and SOF, 7S model of McKinsey. These are crucial areas as far as the models are concerned that are tested in your examination. Now, let me address and then take a new wish list from you people is benchmarking. 11th is NSOF. It's NSOF and 7S model. 12. Okay, now benchmarking. I don't know the reason for why, but it has been. So you should be happy if you need to study something less. Okay. Now, benchmarking. Benchmarking. First, let me complete the first list of the students. Okay. Then we will see, depending on the time, will definitely answer your area of question as well. Now, what is benchmarking? Comparing with best in practice. Comparing yourself with best in practice. Benchmarking. I'm sure many of you in your earlier school days would have been the victim of a comparison with your cousins, with your relatives. Anyone? Anyone? Anyone who had been the victim of comparison with the relatives? Usually, our parents used to compare. Come on, just look, your cousin's so intelligent, so brilliant, doing ACCA first attempt. Yeah, ACCA is in first attempt, and see what you are doing. You haven't cleared your paper yet. He cleared his paper in first attempt, right? And you must have seen people are comparing you with others in your organization as well, right? Come on, just look at that person, how much efficient he is, how much time he gives to his work. So my friends, what they are doing is benchmarking. They are benchmarking your performance with the best in practice. So benchmarking means that you have to compare your organization performance with the best in practice. Now, such a benchmarking exercise includes that you first of all identify areas to be areas to be benchmarked. You identify the areas to be benchmarked. Then you identify the best in practice or the companies with you will benchmark your performance. Okay. So then you compare yourself in areas to be benchmarked. The purpose of benchmarking, the purpose of benchmarking is never to degrade yourself. Because once you compare with best in practice, you always learn. You always learn. Let me give you a very good example here, a very famous example of Mitsubishi and Hire Company. Mitsubishi and Hire Company. Guys, don't leave. Be with me till the end. Because today, at the end of the session, for the last 30 minutes, I will be giving you the entire guideline how to handle paper. Okay? So, be with me till the end. Okay, now. So, Mitsubishi and Hire. Mitsubishi is best in practice. Mitsubishi is best in practice, right? So Hire wants to benchmark itself with Mitsubishi. Okay? Want to benchmark itself with Mitsubishi. Now, obviously, both are competitors. No, so no one will share information with each other. No one will share information with each other. Now, Mitsubishi being best in practice, Hire wants to benchmark itself with Mitsubishi. If Hire will go to Mitsubishi, hello, Hire, can you tell me how much sales you have, how you assemble your ACs, what compressor you use, what material you use? Hire will get a slap. Will get a slap from Mitsubishi. Hire will say, are you okay? Why should I tell you? Why should I tell you? So what Hire can do here if it wants to benchmark? So what Hire will do? Hire will buy AC of Mitsubishi, will buy the AC of Mitsubishi and will unassemble it. Will unassemble it again. Once it unassembles it, it will get to know what quality of component raw material it is using. What quality of component raw material it is using. So once it unassemble it, it will get the idea of compressor, raw material quality and things like that. Things like that. So this is how it will benchmark itself with Mitsubishi and will get to know where we are lacking, where our material is not of good quality, where our assembly is not of good quality. Like this, it will benchmark itself and get to know the weak areas. Benchmarking. Buying the AC of Mitsubishi and just unassembling it. Okay? Understood? Okay. So don't leave. Be with me till the end. Let's take a 10-minute break and we'll join you in 10 minutes time. Don't leave. We'll meet you. So guys, welcome back. Okay, so this was the word famous, nothing important. So I hope that you understood what benchmarking is all about, that you compare yourself with the best in practice. Okay, you compare with yourself with the best in practice, and then you get to know that whether you are good or you are not good, and this identifies the area of weaknesses, and then you try to cover those weaknesses. Okay, so this is basically uh, you can say this is basically the way to actually benchmark yourself and improve your performance by comparing yourself with the best in practice. So guys, is this clear? So I've covered the areas that student told me to cover, and this was a quick recap I gave regarding these important things that you asked me to do. So anything else? There is still a chance if you want me to tell you one to two further things before I start with the study plan. Anything else you people need to ask, so you can please. Now, BPR basically is business process reengineering. Business process reengineering, BPR, and BPR basically uh, is a one that believes in a big change. Okay, BPR believes in a big bang change, and BPR uh, is something that says there should be a big bang change, business process reengineering, which is actually radical redesigning and fundamental rethinking and radical redesigning of something. Now, BPR is something like, uh, for example, let me tell you, it removes the duplications. For example, you have a car, right? You have a car. So this is a car. So, and you have a plane as well. Now, I'm not good in making a plane, but let me just try it, whether I am making the right plane or not. I hope to some extent this is okay. So this is a car and this is a plane. So BPR is basically the one that will say that you just combine these two, and this is a big bang change that will bring. Now that change will be a plane that can even uh, be a one that you can use for driving. And yes, if you just notice, these days there are planes that have been invented that are actually used for the purpose of flying, plus you can even use them at the ground level. They are the one that you drive, and you can even just take off that, and you can use that as a plane. So this is BPR. The purpose of the BPR is to remove duplications and focus on value adding things. Okay, so this improves your efficiency and reduces your cost. So this is a one that says bring a big bang change, not small incremental change. You have to bring a big change, just redesign the process completely, and this will remove duplications, will focus on key features, value adding, will improve the efficiency and reduce the cost of the organization. Okay, so this is basically business process re-engineering all about. Okay, as for corporate failure, now this is the last thing that I'm giving you a recap of, and then we'll start with the plan. Corporate failure, basically, corporate failure basically is something that is important for a consultant like you, because you people are in the you people are a one that who are providing consultancy to the clients, so you should know what are the reasons of the failure that leads to the discontinuation of the business, because you as a consultant would be asked by your clients to tell them whether uh, you people whether the business is a one that is a going concern business. So you as a consultant should know that whether your client business is going in the right direction or not, whether it's moving towards a corporate failure or not. So this is why you should have an understanding about corporate failures. Okay. Now, let me tell you that there are indicators that tells you whether the business is going towards corporate failure or not. So indicators like for example, adverse ratios. Okay, adverse ratios or changes in company's board of directors, for example. So these are the indicators that you people as a consultant have to find out and see whether the business is going towards a corporate failure or not, will the business will continue in the going concern or not. So for that, you have two models to predict failure. One is A score and second is Z score. Okay, now A score is basically a quantitative model, and a this is a qualitative model. So Z score is a quantitative model, whereas A score is a qualitative model. Z score focuses on quantitative things. So there is a score that you work out, and the formula of that score is given with the weight as well. So you work out a score using the formula that is normally given to you in the examination, and that formula is a one that you don't have to learn actually. So once you get the score, uh, you then decide whether the business is going towards a failure or not. So for example, if the score is one that is less than 1.81, so there are chances of failure. So if the score is one less than 1.81, one as a consultant will say that yes, your position is not good. But if the score is between 1.81 and 2.99, so one would require further investigation. Okay, one would require further investigation. So if the score is less than 1.81, chances of failure. If the score is between 1.81 and 2.99, it requires further investigation. You need to further drill down into the situation. And if it is 3 or more, so there is sound financial position. So if it is 3 or more, it says that there is a sound financial position. So this is a quantitative model of predicting corporate failure. On the other hand, A score is a qualitative model for predicting corporate failure, which basically is a one that starts from defects, then moves on to mistakes, and then moves on to symptoms of failure. So A score is a one that is more qualitative in nature, and it focuses on defects, mistakes, and symptoms of failure. So according to A score, it says that defects will lead to mistakes. Mistakes will lead to symptoms of failure. So according to A score, there are two categories of defects. One is management weaknesses. Second is accounting deficiencies. So according to A score, there are two groups of defects. One is the management weaknesses, the areas where management is not good. So that is a defect, which means, for example, if you have a if you have a weak finance director, so that is a defect in your organization. Or for example, your CEO and your chairman is the same person, is sharing the same position, so that is a defect. So this is management defect. Then comes accounting deficiencies. For example, there is no budgetary plan, there is no cash flow predictions, your financials reporting is weak. So this is accounting deficiencies, my friend. So it says that the defects, the more the defects are in the organization, so defect leads to mistakes. Defect leads to mistakes. The more the defects, the more the chances of mistakes. And it has categorized mistakes into three areas. The first is over trading. Now, what is over trading? When the business is increasing its sales without a proper support of working capital. So this is a mistake that the business is doing, that it is increasing its sales without a proper support of working capital. So it says that defect leads to mistake, and the first mistake is over trading. Second mistake is high gearing. Now, high gearing not just includes financial gearing, my friends, it does include operational gearing, because many times was student, when they listen the word gearing, they think it's all financial gearing. No, it is operational gearing as well. So having high gearing, which means having a more focus on the debt and having a more focus on fixed cost, is a one that is always dangerous for the organization. So this is a mistake. And third area of the mistake it was mentioning was about reliance on a big project. This is always dangerous when you rely on a big project, because if that big project just fails for any reason, so your business will go down. So there was a question of past paper related to a mining company, and it was a very good question that was examined in the past paper of mining company, where you had to use Z score, and where you had to link Z score with life cycle costing. And fantastic question that was, that you have to tell using the Z score model and the link you had to make with life cycle costing. So if you rely on a big project, so in that question there were 4 mines. So if you rely on one of the mine, and if that gets failed, then you are gone. So reliance on big project was another mistake. So it says that the more the defects, the more the mistakes, there are more symptoms of failure. Symptoms of failure means the indications of failure. The first, it's now the first, I think there is some problem with the system again. Yeah. So guys, it says that the more there is mistake, the more there are symptoms for failure. So let me quickly just go through the symptoms of failure, and we'll start with my plan then. So symptoms of failure means that, for example, you have adverse ratios. Now, adverse ratio means interest cover is poor, financial gearing is bad, operational gearing is poor. So this is your adverse ratios. Adverse ratios are indicating that the position is not good. Number 2, there are signs of creative accounting. There are signs of creative accounting, which means manipulation is deliberately done in the organization. And normally, in order to hide the adverse ratios, creative accounting is done, so that the bad performance is not shown very clearly. So adverse ratios results in creative accounting, and this is the second symptom of failure. Then comes the non-financial signs. Now, what are non-financial sign? Non-financial sign means signs like frozen salaries, like people are not given salaries. So this is a sign of a failure. For example, the key personnel is leaving the organization, like your CEO, your CFO are leaving your organization. So these are non-financial sign, which means the company is not being unable to pay its salaries to the employees, or it is not being able to pay the rentals, so it is not being able to pay its interest of overdraft, and the key personnel are leaving the organization. So these are non-financial signs of symptoms of failure. And then comes the terminal signs. Terminal signs means signs which are obvious to a layman. Any layman can understand that yes, there are areas which are showing problem, like for example a theft in the organization, or kind of a fraud in the organization, or some bribery scandal in the organization, or you can say some kind of police case in the organization. So all these are terminal signs. Terminal signs means any layman can figure it out, yes, that there is some problem in the organization going on. So such layman indications are known as terminal signs, which are usually at the end of the corporate, the business is not, the business is closing down, or when the signs are so much bad as far as the business performance is concerned. So then that results to terminal signs. So terminal signs are the one that any layman can understand and say, yes, now the business is not going to survive. So this is terminal signs. So this is A score, my friends. It says defects, it says mistake, it says symptom of failure. So these are the key areas of A score, and I hope you understood and got the recap. So what's your feedback as far as the recap is concerned? Did the recap went good or not? Yes, guys, I've covered so many things right now in the today's session, and I hope you did like the quick revision that I've given of the key areas, and it will give you a very, very, very good recap as well. You can even watch the videos later on. You can watch the videos before your examination. If you want to refresh it, you can just recap the video, and this will just refresh your knowledge as far as these topics are concerned. In current developments, my friend, the topics of environment management accounting, the topic of quality, which includes target costing, Kaizen 6 Sigma, and league tables are also other than value-based management. Okay, so now, my friends, it's time for a quick planner that we need to decide that what we should be doing in the coming days. So let me write today is 4th of May 2018. Now, can you tell me the date of exam? 6th of June 2018. Okay? Which means from now, if we count, how many days are we left with? So 25, maybe 30 days from now onwards. Yeah, 30 days. Let's be prudent. Let's take 30 days. 1 month you have. Now, in the 1 month, what you need to do more. Okay. So important things that you need to do more. Now, first of all, before I just tell you what important things you need to do, first of all, I want to tell you that your mindset is important. Just forget that you have given the paper last 5 times, 6 times, 8 times, 12 times, 2 times. Your mindset should be positive. My friends, remember, positivity promotes positivity. So remain positive. Whatever has happened in the past, Just forget it. That was past. Now this is a fresh attempt. This is a new attempt. Okay? And just consider this as if this is the first time you are giving paper P5, just like zero-based budget. So take it in the way that this is the first time you are opting for the paper. So with a positive intent, with fresh mindset, just try to attempt the exam. And you have 30 days left. So in 30 days, you can do many things. 30 days means how many hours? So 30 multiplied by 24 will give you the number of hours. Once you get the hours, you multiply that with 60, you'll get the minutes. Once you get the minutes, then you multiply the minutes with 60 again, and you will get seconds. Now, can anyone tell me how many seconds do we have from today? 30 into 24 hours into 60 minutes into 60 seconds. My friends, you have so much time. So don't waste it. Don't waste it. Be positive. Remain positive. And remember, your mindset now should be that you are a consultant. You are a consultant. Remember, you are a consultant. All the examination scenarios that are coming in front of you are your clients. You go to the doctor, you are the patient, and the doctor asks you what is the problem. You believe a lot on the doctor. Has that happened ever, that you are saying the doctor, that doctor, this is the solution? Never. You ask doctor what the solution is because you believe that doctor has more knowledge than what you have. You believe on the doctor, your confidence is too much. So my friends, you are a consultant. You are a P5 doctor. You have entire knowledge of the business. You have a good knowledge of all the business sectors, whether it's airline company, whether it is ship company, whether it's a pharmaceutical company, whether it's a manufacturing company, whether it's a service sector, whatever sector comes in the scenario, you are a consultant and all those are your clients, and you have a superior knowledge and they are there for your help. How it is possible that your client being inferior to you and is creating problems for you? So think that you are a consultant. Assume you are a consultant. Don't leave. Listen what I'm saying. So you are a consultant. You are the doctor. You are superior to what your client is. Okay? Now, with a positive intent, fresh mindset, lot of time you have, just plan the things. Just plan the things. So how will you plan it? How will you plan it? The most important thing that you need to keep in mind, just recap all the areas. Now, my friends, don't try to spot the areas that you think will come and those will not come. No predictions right now. No spotting of areas. Everything is important. Recap all the important things. Remember, it is not about learning things in P5. You do not have to learn things. It's not about rote learning. Just get the idea. For example, life cycle costing. What life cycle says? Entire life cycle cost should be matched with entire life cycle revenues to calculate the entire life cycle profits. What is target costing? Target cost is a cost reduction technique. What is ABC? ABC is an alternative absorption costing. ABC is a costing technique. Remember the basic concept. Recap the basic concepts and no question spotting. Now, once you have done the recap, then take out the past papers. Now, try your best to solve past papers from 2010 onwards. 2010 onwards. Try to solve past paper 2010 onwards and do more recent questions a lot. So from 2010 onwards, just start your past papers. It is extremely important that you solve your paper. You solve questions. Please, 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 please don't do like this, that you have think the points in your mind. No, it is when you write it you get to know. So do write it. For some answers, just write the entire paragraph. For sub answers, just write bullets. Things that you think are repeating, just bullets. Things that you think are coming on a regular basis and you need to draft it, so just draft the answers. Getting my point? Guys, getting my point? Okay, so solve the questions. It is important. Now, very important thing. If you want to pass, do you want to pass? Yes, you want to pass. If you want to pass, then read past paper answers. My friends, read past paper answers. It is important to read the past paper answers. So please read past paper answers. You have to read answers given the past paper, because once you read it, then you get to know that what your examiner wants from you. That time you get to know the mindset of the examiner. So do read the answers. First solve yourself and then read it, so you get to know that what the problems are. Now once you read it, you will find sometimes lot of huge deviations between your answer and the thought of the examiner. Don't get confused, don't get disheartened, don't get demotivated. My friends, consider everything positively. If there is a huge deviation in your answer and the answer of the examiner, just tell yourself my words. Remember Rizwan Mania words. Just tell yourself how lucky I am. That get I got to knew this before the examination. How lucky I am that I have found out another new concept before examination. Just assume if this was examination, then what would I have done? So just tell yourself, come on, no issues. The more you read, the more you compare, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more confident you are. So once you find mistakes, don't be disturbed. Don't be demotivated. Don't be disheartened. Just do what I'm saying. Just note your mistakes. Just note your mistakes. This is $1 million suggestion. Once you note your mistakes, my friends, once you note your mistakes, you learn it. The more the mistakes, the more thankful you should be that I got to learn new things before. So just note down on the last page of the register, for example, before exam, just refer to those mistakes. Just refer to those mistakes. Before exam, just refer to those mistakes, and this will make it easy for you not to do mistake again. Mark my words, I've practically done this in my exams, and this makes it so easy to remember that you don't do mistake again. My friends, learn these tips and tricks that I'm telling you, people. So before exam, whatever mistakes you are doing, just write it down. We all want to become affiliates. We all want to pass exam, okay? So this is what you have to done. Now, now, mock. Yes, mock is very important. Just solve the mock. Mock is very important. Just solve the mock, and mock will help you to identify your mistakes. Now, how you have to do this? My friends, be very serious to yourself. Be very honest to yourself. What you have to do, just just give yourself the same time of 3 hours 15 minutes like you are getting in the paper. Just go to the library before examination, 3 days before, 2 days before, 4 days before. Just complete your preparation just 3 days before, 4 days before. Guys, listen, just go to the library somewhere you can easily solve the exam paper. Just go to the library or somewhere very silent place. Just go there, just relax, just keep the watch in front of you like this I'm keeping here. Just create the pressure of exam. Just assume this is examination. If you do not time bound yourself, if you do not pressurize yourself, you will never perform good in the paper. So just give yourself the time limit. That is, I have 3 hours 15 minutes and I have to solve the paper in this 3 hour 15 minutes. No distraction, no social media usage, no cell phone usage, no WhatsApp usage, no Facebook replies. Just ignore everybody and 3 hours 15 minutes dedicatedly just solve the mock paper as if you are in exam. Just think like that you are exam, and see, when you will go in the exam, you will feel so much confident. You will feel so much confident. So my friends, so my friends, you have to solve the mock. You have to solve the mock. It is extremely important. Okay. Once you do the mock and you feel like, oh, I'm so bad, don't be upset. Just say another just say yourself, another opportunity that I got saved. I got to know this earlier before my exam, and yes, this will give me more confidence in the exam. So my friends, it is very important that you practice. And yes, when you're doing your practice of the questions, when you're doing the practice of your questions, just time bound yourself. Just time bound yourself. Just time bound yourself. If the question is of 10 minutes, you have 1.8 minutes per mark in the paper. 1.8 minutes per mark. So if you are solving a question of 10 marks, so you have 18 minutes. In your home practice, just give 18 minutes to yourself. Just ask yourself, I have 18 minutes to solve it, and try to solve in those 18 minutes. Time bound yourself. Yes, if you want to read book, if you have time, then go for the study text, or you can even get my notes. I have simplified notes as well. If you want my notes, I will let you know how to get that. So if you want to get the notes, I will tell you how to get the notes, and that note will be easy for your examination preparations. So you can just go through the notes as well. For that, again, you have to join the WhatsApp group of mine from where I can communicate later on. And the last thing is examiner report. Examiner report, not all the reports of the examiner, few reports of recent attempts, maybe 2 3 examiner reports. So please read the examiner report. And this is a 11-point passing solution. I'm telling you, 11-point passing solution. If you want to pass, just follow these 11 points. If you follow these 11 points, this will give you a lot more chance to pass. So my 11-point solution is: first, recap all the areas, no spot fixing in the paper. Number 3, past paper questions mainly from 2010 onwards. Solve every question. Then read the answers. Solve questions, read the answers. Then note your mistakes. Before exam, just recap the mistakes. And then solve a mock for 3 hours 15 minutes. Time bound yourself when you're solving the questions. And then study text or notes. If you want to read, you can go through that as well, and examiner reports of 2 or 3 attempts. My friend, this is a 11-point solution to pass. Prepare to pass using 11 points. Prepare to pass using 11 points. So remember my 11 11-point agenda. Remember my 11-point agenda, and this 11-point agenda is a one that will help you to pass your exam. So this is a 11-point agenda that you have to follow in your preparation days. 11-point agenda. Is this clear, everyone? First, focus on past papers. If you are left with time, then revision kit. Okay, then revision kit. So this is a 11-point agenda that I've told you. Now I'm telling you 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm telling you 4 points to keep your mindset fresh. I'm telling you 4 points for mind refreshment. For mind refreshment, just keep 4 points in your mind. Be positive, be positive, be positive. With a clear mindset, with a fresh mindset, just tell yourself, this is a new attempt. This is a new attempt. This is a new attempt. Fresh mind. You have a lot of time. Tell yourself you have a lot of time. You have a lot of time. And just keep a consultant approach in your examination. Consultant approach in your examination. So this is a 4-point mindset agenda. 4-point mindset agenda that you have to keep in your minds for your examination. 11 points for preparation. 4 points that you need to keep in your mind. The last thing is exam day. Exam day. The crucial day. 6th June 2018 will be the successful day for you people, inshallah, and you will pass. So that exam day, my friends, will be a one in which you will go early in your examination. Just go to the examination early so that you adjust to the environment, so that you just fulfill all prerequisites that are required, so that you fill the form details and everything that you have to. Just go to the examination hall, just sit and relax. Take a deep breath like this. Take a deep breath like this. Just relax yourself. The nerves are at its peak. No issues. Just relax. Just say so. Just say yourself, this is exam. Just tell yourself this is exam. This is nothing more than exam. Just be patient. Tell yourself you're a consultant. The exam is client. So in your examination, just be relaxed. Just be patient. Have a cup, have a glass of water there. I'm not sure whether a cup of tea is available or not. So have a glass of water, relax. Once you start the paper, guys, in that 15-minute planning time, just read requirements. Just read requirements quickly. Just read requirements of all the questions. Now, I'm not saying you start with section A. I'm not saying you start with section B. I'm saying start from the area in which you are best. Once you read the requirement, you will find out the best area, the area in which you are very, very much confident. Very much confident. Now, for example, you started with section B. You started with section B. That was a 25-mark question. 25-mark question. So if I multiply this with 1.8, the exam normal time, which means I have to complete this in how many minutes? 45 minutes, right? If I'm not wrong. Yes, guys, it's 45 minutes, right? So you have 45 minutes. If you start with section B, and 25-mark question you started with, 1.8 minutes per mark, 45 minutes you have to complete, because you started with the best area of your preparation. You're so confident. So if you start from the best area, you have allotted time of 45 minutes and you manage to complete that question in 44 minutes, 43 minutes, 42 minutes. That will give you a psychological advantage. Examination is what? Nothing, just a psychological pressure. It's a psychological pressure. You need to perform in 3 hours, 15 minutes. That's it. My friends, this is a psychological pressure. So if you complete your paper before 45, if you complete your answer before 45 minutes, this will give you 1 spare minute. If you complete in 43 minutes, it will give you 2 spare minutes, which means you will get spare time to complete the remaining 75 marks. Psychological advantage this will give you, because you've started from the best area of your preparation and where you can save your time. And once you save your time, psychological advantage you get, and then you spend on the areas where there are more difficulty. You have spare time, so you can manage to use that time. Do complete your paper. Try your best. Complete 100% of your paper. Complete 100% of your paper. Once you complete 100%, there are maximum chance that you pass. My friends, your prayers of your parents are important. If they are in this world, do ask them to pray for you. Do ask them to pray for you. The parents' prayers are important for the success of any student. Ask your relatives, the one to whom you are very close, pray for your success, and you all will pass. This attempt will be your attempt. My best wishes, my prayers are with you people, that you become affiliates, your hard work pays off, and you pass in P5 exam. Whatever help you need from me, you can take my help. You can take my help. You can contact me. So guys, I hope you all will pass, and this will be your attempt, and you all will become consultants and will pass in the examination. So my friends, before I end the session, remember 11-point agenda for preparation. Remember 4 points that you need to remember for the mindset that you need to keep. And the last day, that the exam day, just reach the exam center early. Just in order to adjust to the environment, read the requirements first, find out the best areas, and then start from the best area. And once you start on the best area, you will save time. Once you do it, psychological benefit you'll get. So my friends, I hope you understood my 11-point preparation agenda, 4-point mindset agenda that will help you to pass your exam. Now, whatever help you want, you can contact me. You can contact on my WhatsApp group. I will let you know about the notes as well, from how I'll be giving you the notes for the preparation. So you can contact me on this number, 923212436266. Just send me a WhatsApp message if you are unable to still join the group. The group link has been shared again. My friends, my consultant, my friends, you have to pass this examination with all the courage and with all the dedication and effort and commitment, and I will be there to help you till the end. So I hope you like the session, you like the entire 5 days of P5. I hope this will be a confidence booster for you. This gave you the more knowledge, experience to pass your exam. I hope you like the entire session. I am waiting for your precious feedback. Thank you very much to ACCA as well for connecting us, for providing us so great opportunity to talk to each other. Please do give me your feedbacks about the session. Do give your feedbacks to ACCA about the session as well. I want to see your feedbacks about the entire session. Did you learn things or not? Is this a confidence booster? And did you learn the new tips and tricks to pass the paper? So please, I need your feedback here. We'll be waiting for the feedback. Just tell me the feedback about the entire session, guys. Are you happy, everyone? Yes, I'll let you know what things have been removed. Yes, guys, what's your feedback? Did the session went well for you people? Did you learn new things? And this last 15-20 minutes were good for your motivation. This last 15 minutes gave you the new tricks. Was these last 15 minutes a confidence booster for you? So yes, we will pass. Guys, we'll pass. Just write it. We all will pass. Just write it. We all will pass. So do contact me on WhatsApp for further notes and all, for all support. I hope you like the entire session of these 5 days. Do give me your feedbacks on the group as well. Give your feedbacks to ACCA as well. You can even write the feedbacks now. Okay. Thank you very much, guys, for the session. And I hope you all pass and become affiliates. I hope this session went well. So, guys, please rate the sessions. Did the session went good for you? Okay. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for listening me for these 5 days. Hope to see you, but not for P5. Hope to hear good news from you on the day of result. Thank you very much. Remember, 11 points to pass your P5 in this attempt. 11 points to pass your P5 in this attempt. Have a nice day. Have a nice time. Take care. Best of luck. Do stay connected with me. Do stay connected with me on WhatsApp group. Take care. Bye.